Hello, my name is Joe Hinkle, and today I want to show you guys my new material design plugin. It's the material design buttons that I've implemented. So you can see here, you get these really cool effects whenever you click the buttons. I want to show you guys just how easy it is to implement this into your Corona project. It's literally 2 lines of code, one if you're like really fancy, but we do 2 because it looks better. Okay, so this is literally it. You just load in the material design buttons library, and then you say init hooks, and you're done. It'll automatically hook into all of your calls with a widget new button. So let me just show you how it looks without the init hooks. So if we just load the library and we do not init the hooks, initialize the hooks, then what will happen is it defaults to Corona's default buttons. So you see this is how the buttons normally look in Corona, right? Exactly how you normally would expect, right? You can use polygons or whatnot. And see here, this is how we're implementing that. It's very simple. But if you just come in here and say init hooks, it'll add shadows. It will add this really awesome animation. It looks like material design. You can see it works really well. If you come off to the side, it doesn't actually expand when you release. Only when you release on the button, it'll expand. And you can control the color. So you can see here, for instance, I have it set as a darker color. The default is the color is white. You can see here I can say, for instance, on the polygon, I set the touch circle color to 0, right? And what's really cool about this is this works with any of the other plugins I have. I did another plugin that allows you to put in a different way to set up your colors in Corona, and that code sort of looked like this, where you could, for instance, say, okay, instead of giving an actual color, you can just give it, a material design color. Right? And this works really well with that plugin. If you just load in both plugins at the top like this, right? I'll show you what that looks like. So you see here, normally this is what a button looks like, and this is my other plugin. You load in my this new plugin, the material design button, and it will automatically take the new colors, and it works completely fine with it. It doesn't have any problems. So that's really cool. I hope you guys enjoy that. Let me think really quick before I sign off. Wanting to run you guys through just implementation wise. Really, you just call init hooks. If you do not want to have it affect globally your entire widget new button calls throughout your entire app, you say you want to get rid of that, right? Well, what you could do, let me go back to the other project. Here we go. If say you just want only the polygon, for instance, to have it, you don't want to have the circle with the effect, right? You can turn off the init hooks, so you don't want to do that. That would be bad. So it's back to normal. And wherever you want to use it, you would just instead say, let's just go to the polygon. You would say material design buttons, new button. So you create with my library, it has the effect. You create with Corona's library, it's the normal effect. So you can actually decide where you want the material design buttons to appear, which is kind of nice. Another thing, trying to think what you guys might like about this. I'm hopefully going to document everything about it. It's honestly pretty simple. It uses custom shaders, so that's one thing to know. This is a custom shader. That's why it's doing a really good job masking, because I'm actually using a custom shader, so it's pixel perfect. I don't know. Oh, I turned it off. I turned the init hooks back on. There we go, it's better. Oh yeah, another thing, I almost forgot. You can set the Z of an object. So here we have the buttons, right? See where the shadow's at? If I say circle button Z equals 0, the shadow almost goes away. If you put it up to, I think 7 is the highest you can go, it will give you a warning if you go too high. You get a pretty dark shadow when you go that high. If you go above 7, it will tell you right here. So you can see that. Warning, material design buttons can only have values between 0 and 7. And that's just because it gets so ugly beyond that point. I just don't really feel like allowing you guys to do that to yourselves. The default is 3, right? So that's the default it sets it at. But you can control this dynamically. So for instance, let's say every time we click the button, we can say circle button Z equal circle button Z plus 1, right? Gets darker and darker, right? And I have an animation set on this one. So see, it kind of just appears softly. That's a little more subtle. So I did a little transition transition on the button. I said, hey, over a period of 500 milliseconds, do in out quad and change the Z to 3 because I defaulted the Z to being 0, right? So I can change this to like 7. Should be a little too intense, to be honest. If you really want it that much, I like 3. It's subtle. It's kind of a nice effect. We also could do like, a random amount between 0 and 7. Why not? Every time I click it, it goes to a different amount. So that's pretty cool. So I'm sure you guys can do a lot of fun effects with that. Yeah, so that's it. This is Joe signing out. I hope you guys enjoy this plugin.